Dear partners, dear colleagues, once again a warm welcome from all of us at EBRD to the Consumer Rules Summit number 3. We are back to the Western Balkans. This is the region that for the last 4 years I've been leading. It's a small region, as you know, 16 million people, 160 billion euro GDP in total, but it's a region where we invest substantially as EBRD. We invest 1.6 billion euro every year. We have done for the last 2 years. We are on track to do it again this year, which sounds like a big number, but it's a really astonishing number in relative terms. If you think that this number is equivalent to 1% of the region's GDP every year, it's equivalent to 100 euro per capita every year. And even in EBRD terms, we can actually say that we invest more in the Western Balkans than we invest anywhere else. This region receives around 10% of the total EBRD investment annually. We do here more than 20% of the total number of projects that we do annually, and this is because we cater to the small size of these economies and the small size of the corporates in these economies, doing smaller projects that we wouldn't do elsewhere. So size matters, and actually on the topic of size, I think conferences like this are especially important because they bring the regional dimension, they bring the dimension of integration with the EU, which really is the only perspective for this region to achieve convergence faster with the EU, to move up one gear from the current 2 to 3% GDP growth that over the last few years the countries of the region have been recording. These may not sound like too bad of numbers in comparison with most European member states, but it is simply too small of a growth for the region to close the income gap with the European Union anytime soon, or certainly in a time perspective which is acceptable to the people of this region and which may be a deterrent to immigration, which I'm sure, as we will hear later on, is a big issue for business and employers across the region. So when it comes to EBRD, we will continue to do our part in the years to come. We are strengthening our network in the region. We are already more than 160 people in the Western Balkans in the 6 offices we have in the region, most of them locals, and I think most of them are exactly why we have the relationships that we have in the region and why we have the representation we have at an event like this. Many of them are in the room. We will continue investing to the tune of the last few years and even increase this volume. We are a demand-driven institution, so where we see the conditions to do more, we will certainly step up to the plate. 3 directions of investment, broadly speaking. First of all, contributing to close the infrastructure gap in the region. Connectivity, first of all. Railways, mainly, so the main European corridors crossing the region, and also the rail connection connecting to the main ports in the region, Bar and Duras. The other side of infrastructure is environmental infrastructure, so things like water, wastewater, solid waste management, air quality investments. These are things that matter from an economic point of view, especially in countries like Montenegro, which rely heavily on tourism, but they're also things that matter, of course, for the quality of life in the region, which is, again, a big driver of decisions as to whether to build a family here, build a career here, or emigrate. So that's infrastructure. Secondly, I would say the energy transition, and I think for sure you will see us invest more in scaling up renewable energy in the region to give you the competitively priced green power you need to be competitive, especially on European markets. We will invest with you on energy efficiency to cut the energy waste in your businesses. And of course, we will invest with the governments of this region to improve, to strengthen the energy security of the region, especially in the context of the increasing geopolitical risks which come with importing so much fossil fuels, especially oil and gas, to this part of the world. Thirdly, and finally, and possibly also most importantly, we will continue investing in the competitiveness of the private sector. We will continue partnering with you in the room to increase productivity, to gain new markets. We will try to work with you to create local value chains that can generate opportunities for the micro and small businesses that make up the backbone of the economies of this region. We will work with you to turn the many strengths of the Western Balkans into opportunities. I will stop here. Once again, thanking you for being with us today, thanking you for the partnerships, which we do cherish very much, and wishing you, of course, insightful, stimulating, and fruitful Consumer Rules Summit. Thank you.